I'm Mike with the Hunt Fish Shoot channel, coming at you from the Armory Life. Today we're going to be discussing the differences between an LPVO and a red dot and helping you decide which one might be right for you. The red dot itself has ruled CQB or close quarters battle scenarios for a long time. Add a magnifier in the rear to it and it now makes this an optic that you can now use at longer distances. It makes it a little bit easier to make precise shots, shots greater than 100 yards. Yes, you can make those 200-yard shots with your red dot with no magnifier, and you can usually do it pretty easily. Put a magnifier on it though, and you're starting to gain the abilities of an LPVO. However, you still then flip it to the left or right, and you still have a very fast optic that can frankly never be beat at close quarters. Although a red dot magnifier may rule the world when it comes to close quarters battle scenarios, they will frankly never really be better than an LPVO or magnified optic when it comes to those longer ranges. To make shots at 600 or greater yards with an LPVO on your rifle, whether it be 308 or even 6.5, or this one's in 5.56, it's very easy to do. A lot of these reticles in here, they do have holdovers for your MOA or mill. You can easily hold over, and if you want to, you can pop the caps off on this particular model and actually dial for elevation. Something that you cannot do with a red dot in itself. There are some models out there that do feature an elevation dial, however, they are few and far between. And again, they will never be anywhere near as precise as an actual magnified optic. You're obviously not seeing rifles out there like precision rifles with red dots on them. They always have scopes, and that's for precision. That's where I think that really the LPVO shines. They can be shot fast. A lot of times what you'll see is your 3-gun shooters, oftentimes they run a LPVO like 1 to 6 or 1 to 8 on there. It's very common for them to use. But what you have to take in consideration is that if you're running it at 1, it's like shooting both eyes open, very easy. You then have to throw a lever to shoot it to 6. However, it's something you have to do and actually mechanically move and do all those things like that, and you're losing situational awareness. Now then go over to your red dot model, and with a red dot, when you go from, let's say, just a non-magnified optic at close quarters, again, it's going to be faster than your scope on there. You go from this, and then you throw a magnifier on there. You can easily take that magnifier if you want to go from, let's say, 1 power to 6 by flipping this particular model over. It's something you usually just flip them out, left or right. This one goes right to left. And then if you flip it out of the way, you then have an unobscured dot on your red dot. But where these really have a drawback is that this model in particular is pretty good. However, generally speaking, your magnifiers on your red dots that you're using, whether it be anything from EOTech, Aimpoint, Vortex here with these ones, are generally pretty poor when it comes to eye relief. It's something you always have to adjust your head forward in order to gain eye relief. You do not get that with your LPVOs or anything of good quality like this Viper PST. So really, between the two of these, they're excellent optics. It's just really knowing the difference and how they can fit the situation that you might actually need the two of them for. I think if you're trying to make more precise shots and you need something for, let's say, a DMR rifle, or you're a sniper on a SWAT team, or any kind of operations like that, this really would fill the needs that you need. And you can even more so than that, if you wanted to with something like this, you could throw an offsetted 45-degree red dot on here. If you're a breacher, an assaulter on a SWAT team, or somebody that's always the point man, the red dot frankly is never going to be beaten at that close range. However, when you have to stretch that rifle out, it's never going to be as precise as your LPVO. Knowing the difference between the two can truly help you learn how to use your rifle to defend whatever it might be. But whatever you do, whichever optic you put on your rifle, practice and train with it, and you'll be ready for anything.